Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about the power of a thoughtful life. What I mean by a thoughtful life is a life where you reflect on things, the issues of life. Not to be talking about getting worried and anxious, but something happens, you think about it, you reflect on why it happened. Something that could have went differently in that situation if you had done something differently, or if another person had done something differently. And you just examine life, because this will draw out of you a lot of God's wisdom. You have to remember the kingdom of heaven is within you, is what Jesus said. And within you is God's unlimited wisdom. It's just ready for you to tap. And times of thoughtful reflection and thinking and pondering things, whatever it may be. It could be your daily life. It could be doctrinal issues. It could be your business. It doesn't matter what the issue is, but something that you focus on and think about. And sometimes that thinking is just going through different issues relating to that and talking through different ideas for solutions. You know, this is one of those things within life that a lot of people talk about giving charity. They talk about giving money to the poor, and these things all sound great on the surface, but they're often just ways of virtue signaling, because the idea is not to solve a problem. The idea is to throw money at people. And unfortunately, many people don't even know the difference. They've just been taught, they're poor, they have this problem over here, throw money at them. Money doesn't solve everything. It can solve a lot of things, no doubt. But if somebody's in a chronic situation of poverty, a little bit of money is not going to do any good long term. It may help temporarily. And so that's where you look for solutions. And this is where thinking comes in. There may be a solution to someone's problem where in the past you might have just thrown money at it, where you could actually sit down and think, and combined with your money, I'm not telling you to stop giving, but combined with your money, you can use that money towards some profitable endeavor for those people that actually solves the issue. Doesn't just put a band-aid on it. Doesn't just throw money at them to extend that problem another month or another 2 months or another year. But you have to think. Some situations, money is the solution. In many cases, that is the issue. And that's all right. But make sure you've at least thought it through. You've considered, how can I solve this problem that these people have? Because that's true charity. That's true generosity. And that's truly a blessing of the Lord. And it's using God's wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing, not money. In business, I've heard of people who will have an issue arise in their business, and they're off running to other people, getting advice, getting counsel, which is good. In a multitude of counsel, there is wisdom, but they haven't even begun to think about it really themselves. You never want to get to a point where you're reliant upon other people alone for wisdom. Now, you certainly want counsel, and once you've thought through an issue, you really pondered it, you really sought the Lord for His wisdom, then you can go and seek the counsel of other people and find out what other people think. Maybe present the issues that you've thought of. It'll help you, because when they present their ideas about it, you may have already thought through those ideas and realized they were wrong, but because you thought first. If you hadn't thought first, you might run with one of those ideas that you have now realized is wrong, but because you didn't think and you didn't sit down and really take some time pondering the issue, you're going off in this error. And in life, so many people are making mistakes that are unforced. They're just refusing to stop and think. And it's been said by a number of people in a number of different ways, but many people, one of the most fearful things for many people to do is to think. They'd rather die than think. That's been a quote from many people. And it's a very interesting point. It sounds ridiculous on the surface, but really look at it. How often do you know people who actually sit down and think? How many people do you know who have journals and notebooks where they write down their thoughts each day, write down new ideas, they ponder and consider things and think of new ways to solve issues in the world and add more value? I'm telling you, that is an ultra, ultra, ultra rare and elite person. I don't care what their success level is, but somebody who's actually sitting down and thinking and putting into words solutions to problems, ways to add more value to the world, ways to tweak things and make things better, that's a rare person. And if they'll couple that with action, take action on some of those ideas, not all the ideas are going to work, but some of those really good ones, the ones that really light up in their heart, they take action on those, they will become great successes. This is not limited to inventors and things like that, or even entrepreneurs. You're not here just to exist as another number on the planet, another cog in the workplace, somebody who's easily replaceable with somebody else. You have great value and you have a purpose. And that purpose is to add more value to the world, to be a light unto the world, to bring glory to your Father which is in heaven. You can't do that if you fall in line with what everybody else is doing. And one of the things that everybody else is doing is not thinking. They have no time for reflection. They have no time to sit and just think about things and consider issues. How often when some new uproar in the news media comes out about whatever subject, and you go on social media and what do you see? Everybody falling in line with whatever the media told them to think, whatever side they told them to take. No thought. The people who think get persecuted sometimes because they actually considered the issue and realized in most cases the media's side is wrong. Or, as I've mentioned many times, you're presented two options and they're both wrong. But the foolish person chooses one or the other because they didn't sit down and think about it. They didn't sit down and consider the issue, really weigh the issues involved and come up with a wise idea. In many cases, the wise idea is to not choose of either of those options. There's other options available. Or just consider that both those options are wrong. But you'll never get to that point if you're not thinking. You don't want to just fall in line with everybody else. Just do what everybody else is doing. Just be like the normies, so to speak. Be average. Be mediocre. Well, the people on the TV told me to do this. They told me to think this. And blindly go with it. Well, everybody on social media is doing it, so I got to do it too. My friend, you've been given this great gift of life and consciousness, and you know the living God. Don't squander that by just becoming a mere robot in life. Just doing what everybody else does. Just following a script, so to speak, of what is popular culture, what is accepted today, and maybe tomorrow it'll be rejected. That kind of folly. If you haven't had a practice of thinking, if you don't sit down each day and invest 5 or 10 minutes of your time into just thinking about things, whatever it may be, it could be just fixing a window in your house. It could be a better way to get to your workplace. It doesn't have to be this earth-changing thing, but just sit down and think. You'll come up with great ideas. Sometimes things will just pop into your mind out of nowhere that aren't even about the issue you were thinking about. Make sure you have something to write with and a piece of paper and write that stuff down. You could write it on a tablet as well, but it's generally better for taking it in and for your cognition to actually write it physically with a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper. A pen, preferably blue ink. That will be the best for you to take that in and to remember it as well. But whatever you do, get it down somehow so you don't forget it. Sometimes those important, brilliant ideas are one-time things. If you don't write them down, you'll forget them. You'll remember, hey, there was something I thought that was really great. What was it? But that's lost in the ether. Because sometimes God will give inventions, He'll give creations, He'll give business ideas, and you'll give it to a number of people. But it's that one person who will take action and start working on it is the one that's going to get the profit, and everybody else, it just kind of floats out of their memory. They knew there was something great there. They didn't write it down. They didn't start taking action on it, and it's gone forever. That's not to say you can't get more ideas. Of course you can. There's an infinite amount in this infinite universe with our infinite God. So you don't have to worry about not being able to come up with ideas. There is an idea for any issue that is presented to you, any problem in life, anything going on. You have a number of solutions for it. If your heart is on helping other people, which it should be, instead of just throwing money at something, which may have been the way you approached things in the past, while giving the money, sit down and think, is there a way of solving this that maybe the money alone is not doing? Maybe the money is actually harmful in this situation because it's actually causing no one to try to solve it. There's enough money coming in, so no one tries to solve the issue. They just keep throwing money at it. Don't neglect the giving part, of course, but add on to that thinking, considering, and trying to find out a real solution for people's pressing issues. My friend, that'll be a great blessing for many people. And where you maybe were helping one person, you could come up with an idea that will help millions. And in the end, that will be a light unto the world, and that will cause your Father in heaven to be glorified. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.